our topic today, which is he's just not that into your kid. Mm-hmm. What happens though if you do meet somebody and you think, wow, this guy's great, and all of a sudden his true colors show, and he says to you, I'm just really not into your kid. What do you do then? You've already established something with him, and then he decides he's not really into it and wants to see you all the time without your child.
And now, are you talking about not into your kid because he's just not into the fact that you have a child, or is it that he just doesn't like your kid?
Good question.
Because there's two ways to look at that.
Well, if he doesn't like your kid, again, women, I will really stress this. You have to be very, very open-minded, open to what's going on around you, because so many women are so either horny or lonely, or they just want somebody that they will let things go.
Yeah.
And your kid is number one.
It's totally number one. Yeah.
Right? So that's a very good question.
That's who's still going to be there at the end of the day. The date is not.
Yeah. Which, if you've been dating them for about 6 months and they all of a sudden decide they don't like your child, or that they're not into your kid, it's probably because they don't like your kid, right? If you want somebody to come into your life, first of all, you respect yourself and your child.
Yes.
If your child is being a little shit,
you want to teach your child to also be respectful to those you bring into your home as a guest.
Totally.
Whether it be a date or just a good friend or whatever. Yeah, the respect thing has to go both ways.
That's right.
Yeah.
I got to stress this one because I did hear she's got baggage a lot. I understand now where the term comes from, because I used to get really offended by it. But what it is if you're dating somebody, you've got all these things you have to deal with all the time, and you've got some asshole ex-husband who's on your case about stuff. They have to deal with all this.
Yes.
So it is baggage. Yeah. But everybody comes with it, even if you don't have kids. When deciding whether you're going to have somebody in your life to raise this child as a stepfather, that they're going to be an influence to your child, good or bad.
Yes.
So if you're starting to have lots of problems with this kid as a guy, and when you're totally in love with this woman, you've really got to sit down and talk to them about what the problem is. If it's you that's the problem because you're jealous of this child being in the way, then you have to remove yourself. If it's something that can be discussed and talked about, because maybe the child is being disrespectful to him, and you need to be aware of that. Maybe the child does it when you're not there. These are all scenarios that maybe make him just not into your kid.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there's always going to be some red flags. I mean, you just got to be open-minded about it and say, it's possible. This guy could be great in so many ways, but if your kid's an issue, your kid comes first, so he's got to go. Or you got to find some way to solve that problem. Whatever his issue is, or assuming a guy-girl scenario where she's got the children and he's dating somebody who...
Yeah. And Sandra brought up the issue of red flags. Now, girls, your child was there before anybody else came along. So you have to make them the priority. If you have to forfeit a little bit of something until later in life, unfortunately, that's the way it is. Yeah. It's not to say that you don't deserve to be loved and to be dating and to be happy. And don't ever get yourself into complacency where, well, I made my bed, I'm going to lie in it. Yeah. There's a lot of wonderful men out there. So you have to learn how to date, but use here. You know, your red flags, be aware of them up here.
When those kids are introduced, that you see those red flags. As Susan was pointing out, if the guy is not into your kid, then it's see you later, bud, because my kid's most important.
Just make sure that you have that list in front of you, that he hits all those things that are going to benefit your child.
Yeah.
When you do decide to be with somebody who could be a stepdad to your child, if they have children of their own, both of you need to talk about the fact that what if you are with these children 24/7? Because
it's a blended environment.
Yeah, all of a sudden you become the Brady Bunch. When you thought, well, this is kind of cool. We see them every second weekend. No, now it's the Brady Bunch and you're all together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, there's lots of warning signs if he's just not that into your kid. So don't sit there and say, well, I didn't see that. Yeah, you do. And there's a lot of stand-up men out there who are amazing stepfathers.
Yeah.
And they may not even have children of their own, and they think it's kind of cool. So
yes.
We're not here to bash. We're just saying if he's not that into your kid, you've got to move on. On that note, the Beavers are out. Thanks, Len.